Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo. Pretty soon I'm going to have Steve from Key Largo Comics. He's been on the show a couple times. I'm going to give him a call right now. This episode's called Stay the Fuck at Home. Let's see if we can get a hold of our friend Steve right now. It's 6:30. Let's see. And I did the episode yesterday. Hey.
Hey.
Hello, Steve.
Yes.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm going to have to turn up your volume there. Pump up the volume. You hear me?
1 second.
Oh, you on speaker?
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out speaker.
That's all right. Steve, we're practicing a little social distancing. Steve's my neighbor. He's from literally a stone throw away, less than 80 yards from my house. But you have
Can
to...
you hear me now?
I can kind of hear you now, yeah.
Okay.
What are you on?
iPhone?
iPhone, okay. Yeah, for some reason when I'm using Skype and something like that, I don't really have a... Even though you're going to come out plenty loud on the show.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So I'm going to start this show with...
Thank you to
Wait, hold on.
Franklin for the...
I'm going to pause. My dad sent this video of me to me. And I'm going to play this for you. Have you heard this guy yet?
No.
The song is called Stay the Fuck at Home. Listen up.
Yes.
Okay.
lyrics.
Can you hear this?
The world has caught a virus, so I've written you a poem. We need your help to cure it, so stay the fuck at home. And if you have got 12 kids or you're living on your own, lock it down and isolate and stay the fuck at home. If you think you're not at risk here, you're living in a dome. It spreads faster than a hooker's leg, so stay the fuck at home. I need the gym, I need the beach, I hear you bitch and moan. You need to grow a brain cell and stay the fuck at home. But I feel fine, I don't feel sick. I'll go out on my own. I'll think
Wait a second.
you selfish prick. Please just stay the fuck at home. From LA through to Berlin, from Wuhan to Rome, there's people dying every
Wait, hold on. Just
day, so stay the fuck at home. If you need to contact family, use Facebook, Skype, or phone. We've got the fucking internet, so stay the fuck at home. The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick. Please stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
That's awesome.
Yeah. My dad
Your dad
sent me
sent you
that.
that? That is awesome.
Yeah, my 79-year-old father. The guy looks like David Letterman. The guy that that's why I posted it. If anybody, and your mom can listen to the show live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're on
Very
the
cool.
air right now.
Wow.
And so so you like that one, huh?
That's pretty good.
Okay. Well, that's a viral sensation. No pun intended. Yeah. So I did a show yesterday, just me, but I was just saying that we were practicing social distancing, even though we are literally 80 yards away.
That's right.
2 streets, though. We have to go down 2 streets. There's like 30 yards down one, and you're 30 yards up another, and I'm... But if we go straight across those streets, you're back, you're maybe 80 yards away. And,
That's right.
Yeah. So...
Just through a couple backyards.
Yeah. So I was thinking how great advice that song was. And today I don't. I have one of my next door neighbors has a daughter who's 15 or 16, and
Right.
She has a bunch of boys come over. One of the boys has a mask on, right?
Oh.
And they all get into two cars and take off going someplace.
Oh.
I guarantee you they're not practicing any social distancing wherever they're going. Probably
Right.
some stupid ass party. And I'm later on in the show, I'm going to talk about caring for people that are less fortunate and things like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. If anything would happen to those neighbors, I'm like, I hate to say I don't give a fuck because they're doing the opposite of shit. You know, there's cars coming in and going to their house and shit like that all the time. I mean,
Right.
it's going to be, yeah. And I imagine there's not a lot of listeners on this show that they're finally the people that don't believe in science have finally left the show. They're not listening to it anymore. They get all pissed off. I remember last year some guy was telling me I needed to give equal time to people that disagree with me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was.
Your show, though.
I mean, he wasn't. When I call him a racist, he was a racist because he used the N-word and all that shit. And he said that, and I said, I don't have to fucking do anything. And the guy got angry,
Right.
started getting heated, and you know he wanted to try to get physical, but he was a little guy, and I don't think it was that tough. So, you know, he was torn.
Where did this happen?
At the bar.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was standing there. I was standing there, and he started talking to me. He said, "Oh, I like your show," blah blah blah. And then he started getting heated, talking further, and then I go, "Well, you know, you don't have to listen to the show." And he goes, "You
Right.
really tell me not to listen to your show?" And I said, "No." I said, "If it's going to get you upset, you shouldn't listen to the show."
Right.
Said, and he goes, "Well, why don't you have me on?" I said, "Well, why don't you just start your own show? It's free. Our country's free. You can go and do it and talk about whatever stupid shit you want to talk about." And
Right.
like I do. So on a happier note, I got a message from a Lori who she owned that restaurant in Key Largo. It's gone now, called the Mindful Mermaid. Remember
Okay.
that?
I do. Yeah.
Lori and Ed, who are friends of the show, and they're moving out to California. And she sent me a message today. She goes, today her daughter sent her a link to my show. Her daughter lives in San Francisco, and I guess she found us. She was looking for something for Key Largo. She found the Keys bartender, and she sent a link of the show to her mom, who's already a listener. So I guess that's a pretty. I guess I'm able to be found by anybody. What I'm a little sad is that someone didn't know if she's a fan of it. That the daughter says she likes it, and she wanted to get some more information on it. So whatever your name is or anything like that, please listen to the show. I'm happy to discuss whatever you like to talk about. San Francisco's doing it the right way. They're real proactive. They're on the offensive, attacking this out in California.
Right.
The governor Gavin Newsom and a lot of the state officials, they're being sued now by the National Rifle Association for closing the gun stores.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, it's just what I mean. I don't think right now they're going to have much, leg to stand on right now. But it's not like they're trying to take guns away. They just want they're considering it's not a necessary. It's not like food.
Sure.
But I mean, liquor stores, they keep the liquor stores open. I mean, that's to keep people from
Thank God.
going crazy and looting. So
I know. I mean, people would lose their minds if they couldn't, get their beer.
Well, what did you and Lizzie? Lizzie works in the industry, so I know, and then you're working from home now.
Right.
So what did you do? Like, are you worried that the stores are going to close pretty soon, or are you stocking up more than you normally would?
I wouldn't say we're stockpiling. we'll grab two of something instead of one, maybe. But I mean, we're not going crazy on the stockpiling or anything. I mean, they have to keep the grocery stores open, right? I mean,
you think they do, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened right now? A friend of mine, the people that I don't want to say their names but they bought 32 handles of Tito's last Wednesday, or not. So there was last Wednesday. They bought 32 handles of Tito's.
Whoa.
For two of them. So,
damn.
which I guess if you wanted Tito's, but I think right now you're able to get. I mean, today the liquor store was open. I saw the guy with the raccoon hat. Seen on the meeting strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that has the sign. He's a sign spinner.
Yeah.
He doesn't spin much. He sits in his chair and.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the liquor store open, and he's got a raccoon hat.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yesterday. And you, how about toilet paper? What does Lizzie say? What's the level of toilet paper rolls you wouldn't go under?
Well, I actually went to Kmart about 2 weeks ago when this whole thing was getting started, and I bought two 24 packs.
24 packs.
Toilet paper, but I mean we're still pretty good on that. But I mean at some point, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean.
224 packs.
Yeah.
You should be all right for a couple months, right?
Yeah, we should be okay for a couple months. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be in the store in the next week or so.
You think they're going to have
all right?
Back?
We have maybe. We may have. I got two girls with me. I got 14 rolls.
Yeah.
And when I was single, I mentioned to someone a 4-pack was really stocking up for me.
Right.
I mean, I don't 4-pack. I might, Christ, I may be good for like 6 months. And I didn't have the best diet in the world. It's not like I ate a shitload of fruit and vegetables now. So
right.
I understand, and the girls explained to me that there's something that women have to they got. I don't no reason to go into details. They use more paper than guys.
Right.
Right. So, and here I'm shy. I'd say anything. I just played a song to Stay the Fuck at Home, calling someone. And I don't want to talk about that. But how about food wise? We have pretty much what we normally have.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is my girls are Abby and Sky. They're eating leftovers now for a change. Today we're doing steak and potatoes, and Sky, who's a pescatarian, we're going to do some fish. No, but did you change any of your eating habits, or?
Well, we've been grilling out a lot more, just because you can't go to restaurants, and so we've been going. We drove down to the Pay Fair. Have you ever been to the little Pay Fair
in Tavernier? Yeah.
Yeah, we went down there last weekend, and they have a lot of stuff. They have lots of meat, steaks, pork chops. So we've been getting stuff there to grill up, and been doing a lot of that.
Yeah. Well,
we've been doing some takeout. There's still a few restaurants doing some takeout, so we've been doing a little of that too.
Yeah, we're not doing anything. We didn't do much takeout before. We did. And then we didn't go to restaurants a lot either, so hasn't.
Right.
I've been cooking more. I've actually been baking more. I talked about that, been baking more at home. Have you noticed a change in the traffic pattern? I was on the bike. I told you I bought a bike to. And I go down to my meetings. And I mentioned I did a show yesterday. I talked about. I go to AA, they have small outdoor meetings. Where there's proper social distancing going on. But I mean, consider my fucking neighbor. When with the kids jumping in the cars and taking off wherever they're going to some house party.
Right.
There was did you see when the spring breakers were down here, and they were talking to them about the coronavirus? The guy says, "Coronavirus? I don't give a fuck if I'm gonna get right."
Oh yeah.
Well, they went home, and I guess they sobered up, and now they're regret. They said, "Well, I do care about my grandparents and all this."
Right.
It took them about a week and a half to regret that. Wait till like 20 years from now. Hey, you're that asshole. That. Oh my God.
There's a new picture on Twitter today about the beaches up in Duval and St. Johns County, and there's still spring breakers all over the beaches up there.
Oh really? Didn't the governor closed them?
Not these ones. It's St. Johns County, which is just south of Duval County, I guess, and there's thousands of kids out on the beach today.
Really?
Yeah, DeSantis is blowing it, man. He's a clown. He needs to put a lot.
Well, Monroe County's kind of stepping up on that shit. With the
Monroe's doing pretty good.
But there's still flights coming into Key West from, like it's exploding. It's exploding in New York. And I realized, and I mentioned this we've done 3 podcasts since it started, or 4, since it really started, and things started locking down, that we realize everyone's going through this, and everyone knows to get the updates. So I'm not going to repeat those things, right? But New York has 50%. But then again, New York's doing everything, right?
Right.
They're doing everything. And they're saying, there's so much in New York.
Do you think
What?
Do you think it's just because we don't have a lot of tests down here?
Yes.
That's why it seems low? Yeah.
Thank you. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. They're the ones doing it, and people are, and what they're doing around them, like Rhode Island. So you heard rumors that people are blocking people from New York and all that stuff. And New York isn't a magical state. There's tons of assholes up in New York, right?
Yeah.
But there's tons of assholes down here in Florida too, and they're not being helped by the government. Isn't really doing much about it. But DeSantis is blowing it. They're going to find out, with this Orlando shit, the tourists, whatever the reason New York City has 25% of the cases in the United States right now. New York City.
Right.
And New York State has 30%. And that's due to testing.
Exactly.
But there's other states like Texas, Louisiana. It says New Orleans is going to be incredible. Like it turns out, I have no idea what Monroe County was at 19 confirmed cases. Like you said, how much testing has gone on down here? Maybe test 100 people.
Yeah, right.
Once they get the test kits start coming out, this 45-minute test kits come out, then it's going to be a different thing. But we're going to learn. We're going to know, and we're going to learn from the states, and the ones that we're still supposedly, Florida's a little more ahead of the curve than Texas, right?
When you say ahead of the curve, what do you mean?
They're not ahead of the curve. They're not as far behind as Texas. Like there's states that aren't doing anything.
Yeah, right.
There's states that are doing very little, and there's states that are taking it seriously. I recall that a little bit of caution can go a long way.
Right.
I mean, years ago, imagine this. If I'll make an analogy with people when they started doing, I'm going to make safety glass on windshields.
Yeah.
Right. Years ago, when they used the windshields, and people would die from they get in an accident, shards of glass come in there or something, and get all cut up, and they die from that. If they didn't die from the impact injuries.
Right.
And then safety belts. Then Ralph Neighbors said, unsafe at any speed. You know, you got to put safety belts. If you put safety belts in, you're going to save a lot of people. You know, safety glass, safety belts, and to this day, you know, yeah, we do that. We got those automatic bays. You have to have the safety belts, and in Fenley, people see that. They see that they have to not text when they're driving, right?
Right. Yeah.
Today when I was riding my bike today, there was one of those propane trucks, and in Key Largo, to my listeners, in Key Largo, they have we have maybe 3 traffic signals in Key Largo. I think, 3 traffic signals. One of them, let me go through it. One of them's at a school, then another's at Tradewinds Plaza, and another one is down at the CVS Walgreens. And then there's a pedestrian and there's a pedestrian crossing light about a quarter mile north of the last traffic light as you go south. And what happens, it's kind of, people aren't used to it, but what happens is you go up there and you hit the button, it starts flashing yellow. Then it starts flashing yellow, and then it goes solid yellow, and then it goes solid red. And that's when people can cross the highway. Because people were getting hit left and right down there like crazy. It was people were stupid, you know. They just get on there, get confused, and they get hit. And I hate to say that, you know, speaking ill of the dead. Well, today there's a woman waiting there, young woman. She's ready to cross, going. Doesn't matter. She was hitting the light at the northbound lane, and she waits the whole time. It flashes yellow, goes solid red, and then, you know, cars are still speeding up when it's yellow and stuff like that. And finally, it turns red, and a fucking truck. You just seen it lock its brakes, and you see it skid go. You know, all the rubber's being burned when he's just skidding. You know, boom, boom, boom. And I'm thinking propane truck, and I'm going, well, I'm going to slow down before it. I mean, I don't know what actually happens when a propane truck gets into a collision. Right. I think it's safe enough that I don't want to find out, you know.
No.
And if there's a pandemic going on, I don't want to be taken out by an explosion of a propane truck.
Right.
Or hot air ballooning, or a shark attack, you know.
Right. Just some random occurrence.
Did you remember, what was it, The Hangover?
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis says, I was thinking about grandfather. He died during World War II. And they go, sorry, skiing accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you said you died during, my buddy died during Hurricane Irma. Alcohol poisoning, you know. So, you're not gonna... So what was the point? Yeah, so, you know, people not adhering to the social distancing rules, not even adhering to stopping at a red light, you know. It's like you're riding down the road. People are, how can you be in a hurry now? They closed the highway. We got, what is it? I'm guessing we're at 25% capacity normally. We got like 1/4 of the traffic we normally have this time of year.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
looks about right.
Yeah, and I was thinking that you know, how could you be in a hurry? There's no roads out there, and now you go to stores are empty. You know,
right.
so. Another funny thing, I go to this produce stand around the corner. It's run by Mexican people on Lime Street.
Yeah, we go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I go there, and there's this Mexican guy. He's wearing a Make America Great hat. Yeah, he works there. He looks kind of like he's, you know, he looks like one of the healthy homeless, you know.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a red hat, and I'm going, are you wearing that red hat so people don't bug you, or are you, are you wearing a red hat because? I mean, I think he's doing it so people will leave him alone. Trying to curry some favor with the people that are ready to put him into, you know, ship him south of the border. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think there was a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry David was going around wearing a MAGA hat because he didn't
engage with people. So he just wore a MAGA hat.
Yeah, but someone was going to sit next to him at a restaurant at a counter. He put on the MAGA hat and they just move to move away. That happens all the time. That happened in the bar too. Some people, the people coming there, obviously the people that are comfortable talking about politics are those people, and there'll be like a couple of them, and they go, "Oh, okay." So, right now those MAGA hats are being replaced. Though I saw a guy with a mask and a MAGA hat.
With a what?
A mask, a face mask.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And so wait a second. I thought you guys thought it was a hoax. So what?
Right.
I don't. What are you guys doing differently when you go out? Do you guys? You go to the store. Who goes? Do you both go out, or just one of you goes out?
We both go. I'll drive. We'll both go in the store. I try to obviously not touch anything and just wash our hands like crazy when we get home. I mean, there's just no way around it. You got to eat, so it's kind of a little nerve-wracking. But what are you going to do?
There's a lot of single guys that probably don't have to change a lot of their hygiene habits, because every time they come home, I think they're probably going to the bathroom and they get a hand soap and they're working their unit, all the time. So they're washing, practically. It's not. Some guy mentioned, someone was talking about this. I guess because of social distancing, you're not getting any. The guy says, I never really got any before. So, and I go, well, I really wouldn't worry about it. But with this mask thing, I have a couple theories about the mask, the effectiveness. Now, I heard mixed messages about using the mask.
Right.
And I think they said that so people wouldn't buy them up. But if masks are sitting in stores and stuff like that, it's not like hospitals are buying them up. You figure hospitals would have all these things.
Yeah.
There should be tons of them. Medical supplies. But then again, they don't manufacture like they used to. Years ago, it's called just-in-time, JIT, and people aren't maintaining a large stock.
Inventory,
of items. So they would just order them as they need them. Which we see the fallacy of that in case of an emergency now. But how hard is it to manufacture that? Are we really? Is there nothing in the United States where they, instead of making, there's got to be a bunch of places that make blouses and stuff like that. Hey, put those, or put those undocumented aliens to work and get them, in your sweatshops. Make some masks.
I just saw some story come across Twitter this morning about a big company up in New York State that converted its manufacturing from, I forget what it was, but over to masks in 4 days. It took them 4 days to convert their whole assembly line or whatever to make them from making their old products, and now they're making masks. So
it's not like you're not making computers to making re-entry vehicles for NASA.
Right.
It's not a big retooling effort. But it's like they started saying, well, they're more effective at preventing other people getting sick. Well, then, why do they need them in hospitals as much? And if the social distancing worked, they said droplets, you pretty much got 3 feet that travel, unless you're really putting it out. And that's why they say 6 feet give you the extra,
Right.
And then, but why, I guess in this day and age, maybe they should always have, is there one thing we should always have some extra of every year? Should manufacture a shitload of gloves and a shitload of, just white gloves, maybe just wash them. Can you wash them maybe? And masks too. Why can't, Is it possible you can wash the mask? And if they get moist, they say they don't work as much. I mean, they got to be work better than nothing at all. So as soon as there's an outbreak, put everyone in mask and gloves, and it should shut it down.
Sure. Yep.
I mean, at least reduce the incidence. Put everyone in it. Just say, boom, that's it. And they do it for a couple weeks, and you're fine. You know?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and do that. But we don't have enough of those. You just give them out now instead of having all these tests. You know, how much would it cost for? I mean, the test costs what, $50, $100?
Right.
Originally, it was $3,200. How many masks and gloves could you buy for that much?
Oh yeah.
And
I just bought a box of gloves off Amazon for $11, because just open the mail and stuff. You know, open boxes that are coming to the house and stuff.
Yeah. And you got a lot coming in, right?
What's that?
You got a lot coming in.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming in. And, you know, I'll constantly open boxes and stuff. And they're saying, you know, they're finding people in those Amazon fulfillment centers with coronavirus now. So,
yeah.
You know. So, yeah. But it's crazy. A lot of things to think about.
In the beginning, if they thought that the warm weather was going to affect this, then we would have been in the clear long ago, because it hasn't been moderately cool here for a month and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, we get plenty of sunlight, no rain, and all that still. So, I mean, that kind of puts the kibosh on that. And with the one thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you've considered it, we're primarily a tourist economy down here, and we have, you know, the restaurants, you know, and all these other services, the dive boats, the fishing boats, the whatever you want to call it, parasailing, jet ski rentals, hotels, everything, the little gift shops, snack bars, everything. And then you have the people that service those other people too. And so 60% of the economy is dependent on tourism. And okay, now they passed the stimulus package, but the only people that are going to be able to have anything from that are people that are documented, really.
Yeah.
And there's I mean, no matter how you slice it, I mean, they never figure it out. People don't want to they want their all-you-can-eat fish fry and stuff like that. Well, you know what? That only works when you have a $5 an hour guy that gets paid under the table who doesn't have any papers.
Right.
Or, you know, or a cleaning crew that's Guatemalan.
Mm-hmm.
And these restaurant staffs, they run it heavy 30%. 30% could be down here. And yeah, people get high on their hog about undocumented people, but the tourist economy would crash if they left.
Sure.
And they're not, you know, they're not getting any money. I mean, they're dependent. Dependent on their friends. They're a tight community, though. I bet they'll help out, and I think about them too. So the restaurant I know helped out. They made sure that, you know, donate a lot of food, but there's going to be, at the end of the day, they have to pay rent too.
Sure.
I mean, they got to pay rent. They got to feed their kids.
Hi.
Hey, Lizzie.
Hi.
What's? You know, this social distance thing, I have no idea what's going on. Did you guys crack a drink yet? It's already 7:00. Oh, she just came in from walking the dog.
Hold on. Sorry about that. Shutting the door. One second.
Are you being attacked by your dog?
We did some drinking yesterday. We're kind of taking it easy today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, we grilled out in the backyard, so we had some drinks while we were doing that, and then, you know, we're probably going to grill out again tomorrow, so we'll have some drinks tomorrow, but, yeah.
Abby's finding projects for me. We're painting our vestibule and a door. I was sanding that stuff. and she just has she's making sure I'm not idle.
Gotcha.
Idle time, and then I do spend my time. I go to my meetings. I did spend a little time talking about being sober,
right,
and how, for some people it might be difficult. Not talking about people without problems, you guys, but the people that go to meetings, the kind of meetings I go to, they may find it difficult during these times. They can't meet. A lot of the places where they meet are closed and things like that. So.
Yeah.
Luckily, that you have social media, you have Zoom, you have all these things where people can FaceTime and do all sorts of things. Is chat roulette anything anymore? Did you ever hear of chat roulette?
Say that again?
Chat roulette. You ever hear that?
No.
It used to be like a really kind of gross dating thing where you just you don't pick the person you're going to talk to. It kind of just comes up. That's why they call it chat roulette.
I gotcha.
And I remember a story. Some of the guy says, you think you're going to be talking to a hot girl, and then all of a sudden there's some chubby guy on the camera with no pants on,
right,
playing with himself.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's. I guess that died, after too many people did that. How can you be catfished anymore? How's that possible?
Right.
I mean,
right.
How can you not see a picture of someone? I mean, if someone started, and not that I should be doing that. I know on Facebook, if a friend request and it's only one picture of somebody, and it's some attractive woman, which is good. I guess my image is not of a guy that's attracted to guy. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but and there's one picture. I go, well, this isn't even a real person, And they go, and you look at the description, and they're saying they're from Malaysia, and they said they don't even say, they put that in as a male. They didn't even go to trouble. They didn't even go to trouble picking the right gender. So, yeah. So right now, I mean, it's just good. I digress with the meetings. If you have meetings, they got online meetings and all that stuff for people like me. I wanted to talk to you about the economy. So it's tanking right now. Luckily, it's a weekend, and I'm not an expert on it, but I realize that we're very quarterly and day to day on how we envision investing, right? And people dump, and I remember a couple of years ago that these trading houses were installing really high-speed lines, so their computers have a millionth of a second advantage to be able to do these block trades or whatever they call them. And I was thinking that if you could invigorate and incentivize long-range investment, instead of making it so disincentivizing short range, saying like if you buy and sell quickly, that you take a hit, maybe pay a penalty, and people that hang on to things end up paying less of a penalty, and to set a 2, 5, and 10-year strategy for investing, where I know that's counter-capitalistic, but I mean, it's not socialistic because I'm still talking about trade.
Right.
But I think a lot of time, if you think of day trading and these automated trades and these investment houses, I don't know if that's the thing anymore. The small investors, they go and dump, when we had the largest losses in the history of the market coming up, and then people coming in after the stimulus package passed, then it coming back, a largest gain, and then another. Yesterday was a big drop when people started seeing that it's going to take a little longer than this April 15th arbitrary date picked by the orange guy, because of course Easter Easter, it's going to be fabulous. We've been through everything that no one's been through before, and it's going to be beautiful. The church is going to be filled. There's going to be lots of Easter baskets, whatever the fuck he's saying now right now.
Oh, yeah.
So he called some guy a cutie pie yesterday at his press conference because he was asking about.
He did?
Yeah, he was asking about ventilators. He says, well, how about the ventilators? He goes like this, hey, listen here, cutie pie. He said, cutie pie.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
And he called the mayor of Michigan. He goes, that woman in Michigan. So.
I can't take it. I can't even listen to him.
I know. There's the NPR stopped carrying his conferences because they just said the amount of testing said there was per capita was higher than, and it turned out Italy and Korea were doing more testing than we were per capita.
Right.
But there's nothing like a crisis to bring out the asshole in people. And we saw it here with that hoarding stuff. When we come back to hoarding, we're going to finish up because you follow movies and you're good with movies. So think about these disaster movies. I'm going to give you some time, Steve. Okay? And whenever that happens, there's always one of the characters that doesn't behave right. They either turn into an evil, selfish bastard or a panicky, nervous Nelly. Bill Paxton in Aliens.
Right.
No, but in the very end, he bucked up and he was fine. But he was always like freaking out in that one,
Right.
And Billy Zane in Titanic.
Yeah.
Jumping on the boat on the life raft.
Right.
The mayor in Jaws. Now he was one of these assholes that decided, well, hey, this is our biggest, from the July 4th weekend and all that stuff is where we make 40% of our money and stuff.
Right.
And Matt Damon in Interstellar. Now, they're trying to save mankind. Did you see Interstellar?
No, I heard it was good though.
Okay, I didn't want to give it away. Matt Damon, he's one of the guys that came up with this program where they're going to look out for these habitable planets.
Yeah.
Right? And then he just starts panicking when he's, decides he doesn't want to be isolated by himself, and he lures in. He lures. It's part of the story. It's not the story, but he doesn't hold up well. But there's got to be other characters you think about, even in some of these old disaster movies. There's people that they lead people. Oh, Poseidon Adventure.
Sure.
Did you see that?
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, at one point in Poseidon Adventure, Gene Hackman is a defrocked minister, and he's leading them to the bottom of the ship because it capsized, right? And the ship is capsized, so he has to take them to the bottom so they're closer to get near the surface. So they're going to cut a hole. The rescuers would cut it out. And the people when they were leaving, they crossed passengers going to the wrong. They're going the other direction. They're going to the top of the ship, which is underwater.
Right.
And they ended up dying. But that guy, there's always like someone making the wrong decision out of like. Go to this exit, and that's where everyone dies in a fire. So, and
right.
But we have that now. We see them panicking. We see those people that went up to the highway last week.
Yeah. Telling people to leave.
What was that image? We had people out there, go home. Cursing at people and stuff like that. And some of the people coming into town were people that lived here. They were getting yelled at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of there was a Seinfeld episode where George Costanza is at a children's birthday party.
Yeah, and there's a clown there.
And the clown was there, the apartment caught on fire or something.
There's a kitchen. There was a fire in the kitchen.
Yeah, and Costanza just starts pushing kids out of the way to get out.
Yeah.
He's knocking kids and women over and running out.
Yeah, he pushes someone kid by the head, knocks an old lady out of her walker, pushes her.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Yep, that's George Costanza. They were just, and I think that's a nice thing about a crisis is that you see the people that contribute. The people are saying, okay, I'm going to do my part. There's the people that volunteered up at St. Justin's Church. They were handling out care packages to some of the families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bread, food, butter, and all that stuff. A lot of things takes a hit, like I talk about the undocumented. But then we have a lot of people that are food insecure down here, and there's Burt Memorial down here does. They have a kitchen that's open for people, and I wonder how that. You know, I should go and since I'm off, I should go and volunteer there. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the people. I mean, who's looking out for the people that normally are? Yeah, I understand. There's some people out there that don't really give a shit. You know, if you're homeless, it's your fault. You know, that's I understand the theory behind it.
Right.
I don't get it when it's attached to a religious thing. Like they're not doing anything about it. Yeah. Hey, you can be a cold, heartless asshole, but don't pretend to do that religious shit. Well, you know, we've done the 50 minutes. I think I mostly did the talking. So I wanted to say, what are your plans for the rest? Tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah.
What do you do with your whole day now?
Tomorrow we'll probably go do a little kayaking in the morning over at my parents' house up the street here. That's, you know, a good form of social distancing. and then we'll fire up the grill in the afternoon and probably just have some beers, and that'll be about it. You know. Oh, yeah. What about you? We're
well, like I said, we're still going to paint. Abby's got remodeling ideas for me, so. Well, luckily I don't have a lot of other things to do, so it's not like I can. You know, when someone has work for me to do, what else? I mean, this is what I do now. I get up. I like biking. We got the bikes, so I go and do the bikes. And I do some baking. I'm going to go and right now I'm probably going to go and I'm going to make dinner. Right. Now. And then tomorrow I'll get up.
I have one question for you. What's going on with the catch? Are they not doing takeout?
No.
Is that Kathy just doesn't want to deal with it, or?
It's not enough to maintain. It's a money losing enterprise.
Gotcha.
The people that are doing it right now, I think some of them are running out their stock. Some of them have enough business for it. Maybe they're doing it because they got family members working and stuff like that. I'll tell you, there's some places they're already set up for that, like these food trucks.
Sure.
They already were takeout, so they didn't have to change their business model at all.
Yeah, that barbecue truck across from the catch is going gangbusters right now.
Oh, it is? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And what did the president say? People say, well, what do you say to the people at the restaurants? There are a lot of restaurants, they're not going to be able to open when they come back. And he goes, well, a lot of those restaurants will be open again, maybe under new owners.
What's the point of that?
I go, a lot of people are going to lose their houses here. And he goes, oh, there'll be people living in the houses. Maybe not those people. Yeah.
I'm so half backwards.
He goes, well, we won't have what if we don't have a president this year, next year? We're going to have a president next year. It's probably not going to be the same president we have this year. You like how I made that up there?
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, hey, we're going to, Tina has a couple words to say here. Let me see if it comes out, okay? I don't know if it works on the...
Sure.
Here.
You're an
Can you? I don't know if you can hear that. I played it.
I don't hear it.
Okay. One more time. Maybe it's for the people. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming on the show, you and Lizzie. We'll do it again, maybe Tuesday or something like that. Is that all right?
Yeah, that'll probably work.
Tuesday? I'll check with you on Monday then. I'm going to do one Tuesday anyway.
Good.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. I'll talk to you. Take care.
All right.
Give my best to Liz.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Wait a second. This is Jim the Keys bartender. I'd like to thank anybody who's listening. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if I will post ahead of time the next time we do a live show. And so if you want to, you just get on Spreaker and you can chat with us. So you can send us a message. Talk to you later. Bye. That's loud.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to sold.
Pop stars with auto-tune.
Yeah.
And dentists with asking questions
So, how did he propose?
after they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
Today, banks are expected to be more open, but they're also expected to be more secure. How do you do both? IBM has designed the first financial services-ready public cloud that gives you the best of both worlds. It's a platform that will help you handle regulatory compliance, protect data privacy, and speed up innovation. So banking can be easier for banks. Visit ibm.com/financial cloud to learn more. IBM, let's put smart to work.